Aha, one Leelavati. But its fragrance is overwhelming. And
All right.
Gurudev said, would talk about spending his final days in Govardhan and doing bhajan in Govardhan, which Guru Maharaj reminds us, the higher devotees, their bhajan is direct service in the upper world, but Saraswati Thakur spoke of the significance of Govardhan. It's the ultimate plane of service aspiration, those in the Rupa-Anuga line. So, that to live in Govardhan, go to Kusum Sarovar, collect flowers, serve the superior gurus and Radha Kunda, return to Govardhan. So Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj thought of making a bhajan kutir there. He said there'd be different types of flowers. He's quoting Narottam Thakur and Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And the champak, Goloka champak, that's one. Bokul, different vines, Madhavi, different things. He would talk about that. Yes.
And Gopa Kishore Prabhu,
Jai.
since his Dandavas from Lakta.
Jai. Gopa Kishore, he's actually a member of Gupta Govardhan. We loan him to Lakta and Tomsk and other places, but we're eagerly waiting his return.
And also we got questions from Lakta. So the first one is, the concept of love in separation. What exactly did Srila Maharaj...
Wait, I didn't hear that because of the sound.
The concept of love in separation.
Oh.
What exactly did Srila Maharaj tell about this, and in which books is it represented? Where does this conclusion, union in separation on Srila Guru Maharaj Samadhi come from?
Well, everything on Srila Guru Maharaj's Samadhi comes from Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj. All the slokas, the concept, but this theme, really it's an original from Srila Guru Maharaj, union in separation. It's an original expression in the English language. But we just observed the sannyas of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And with that, the Chaitanya Charitamritam begins telling of the Shesh Leela, or final pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Overall called Shesh Leela, or final pastimes, and divided into two sections, Madhya Leela, Antya. And the Madhya Leela, there's a summary of what will come. In the second chapter, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami prefaces his remarks by saying, or concluding there saying, because I'm arthritic, cannot see, it's a miracle that I'm writing by the mercy of Madan Mohan, Madan Gopal. But here I will try to give the essence. What are the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? And if I live long enough, I'll expand them further. So the Madhya Lila, chapter 2, is very significant. Srila Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj would often sing that, all the verses, by heart. And there, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is telling us essentially the internal purpose for the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bahiranga Sange Kore Nama Sankirtan, Antaranga Sange Kore Rasa Ashvadan. In general, he was giving Nam Sankirtan, the Yuga Dharma. What does it say? Vishwambaro, Ivadvijabaro, Yuga Dharma Palo, Bande, Jagat Priya Karo, Karanai Avatarno, Kalo. Ajanulan Bitabujo, Kanakavatato, Sankirtanai Kavitaro, Kamala Yataksho. When Vrindavan Das begins the Chaitanya Bhagavat. But Antaranga Sangi Kore Rasa Ashvadan, with his internal confidential associates behind closed doors in the Gangbira, particularly with Swarup Damodar and Ramananda, Rasa Ashvadan, he's tasting rasa. We can also say, Janmadyasya yatonvayad itaratas cha arteshu abhigyasvarat cha arteshu. Only he knows what really is the purpose behind all of his movements. What Guru Maharaj has written in his poem, Sri Gauranumatam Swarupa Viditam. The real understanding, fully the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this is known fully to Swarup Damodar. Right? And we understand that Chaitanya Charitamritam is based upon the notes of Swarup Damodar. Right? Like this verse, Radha Krishna Pranaya, Radha Krishna, Vikritir Shakti, Ladini Shakti Rasmad, Ekat Manavapi Bhuvi Pura Bedam Deham Gadoto, Chaitanyakyam Pragatam, Advana Chaikyamaptam, Radha Baba Duti Subalitam Nomi Krishna Swarupam. This is not found in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Radha Baba Duti Subalita. That Krishna is enveloped in the heart and halo of Srimati Radharani. So when we say he's tasting this rasa, means from her position. Right? Radha Bhav. There's Bhakta Bhav, the Gopi Bhav, Radha Bhav. So, and what is the focal point? Two places, both Radha Bhav, but two places. One, Kurukshetra, after 100 years of separation, meeting, for those who cannot tolerate separation, the blinking of an eye, after 100 years. Yugaitam nimishena chakshusha pravishaitam sunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me. The gopis also cursing the creator Brahma as being a deficient creator because he's making eyes that blink. So for that blinking that momentary closing of the eye, they're deprived of the inconceivably beautiful form of Krishna. They can't tolerate that. Yuga, you told me, seems like a yuga, or Sahasra Yuga Parjantam Ahor Yad Brahmano Vidu, or like a day of Brahma, 1,000 yugas. And the Rasa Leela, we're told, lasts for Brahma Ratri, which means the night of Brahma, same thing, right? 1,000 yugas. And that was not enough to satiate their hearts. So they're thinking, a night of Brahma, 1,000 yugas, 4,300,000,000 years approximately, was like the blink of an eye in union. So we can think, that is intense enough, right? That this union, in 4,300,000,000 years, like the blink of an eye. But separation is so extreme, the blink of an eye is like 4,300,000,000 years. In this way, it demonstrates the concept of the expansion and contraction of time and space, right? Which we may think of as something very modern and the purview of physics. But these, as Guru said, half-civilized, stupid jungle girls, the Braja Gopis, this is automatic for them. So, Srila Guru Maharaj, he likes to pose, was the central conception of the infinite. If the extremes, Brahma, Paramatma, Brahma, all accommodating, greater than the greatest, Paramatma, all permeating, smaller than the smallest, then what should be the central conception of the infinite? The golden mean, where these two meet. And all attractive, right? Akila Rasamrita Murti. Right? Rasa Raj Mahabhav Dui Ekarup. Krishna, ecstasy personified. Srimati Radharani, Mahabhav. What was it? Verse 8. Sladani Sar, Prem, Prem Sar, Bhav, Bhav Sar, Mahabhav. Mahabhav, the extremes of Krishna Prem. Right? There's gradation everywhere. How does it go? Bhav, Snehoman, Rag, Anurag, Bhav, Mahabhav, Rupa Goswami. When Mahaprabhu, after taking sannyas, he's going with Nityananda Prabhu, Jagadananda Pandit, Damodar Pandit, and Mukunda. They're going towards Puri. They're told, Kahan Krishna Prananath Murali Badan, Kahan Karun Kahan Pan, Brajendra Nandan. The search for Sri Krishna. When at a particular town, maybe it's called Ataranala, from there you can see at that time you could see the top of the dome of Jagannath Temple. And before that, when Mahaprabhu goes begging, he's leaving his danda and water pot kamandalu with the devotees, perhaps with Jagadananda Pandit, Nityananda Prabhu, asked for those things, broke his danda into 3 pieces. To show some things mysteriously, mystically. So when Mahaprabhu comes back and Nityananda said, Mahaprabhu, what happened? Nityananda said, we were dancing in ecstasy and divine madness and we fell on the danda and it broke. And Mahaprabhu was like, you wouldn't, no. Nityananda Prabhu. So Mahaprabhu, then he thinks, all right, you have a choice. Either you go before me or I go before you. You go before me and I follow you, or I go before you and you follow me. The devotees are thinking, better you go and we follow you, because who knows what would happen the other way. But when Mahaprabhu sees the top of the Jagannath dome, you know, we're told that defects of the conditioned soul, Brahma, Pramada, Vipralipsha, Karna, Patava, illusion, mistakes, cheating, imperfect senses. But he has his own type of Brahm illusion. Sometimes he's seeing a sand dune, Chatak Parbat, seeing it as Govardhan, seeing the sea as Jamuna. Just like poets in this world, everyone sees so many things every day. What do they remind you of? Right? We all have our own experience. We're seeing so many things in life every single day. What do they remind you of? That's what it's all about. You can interpret what you see. Then we're left with interpretation. And you have a theistic interpretation, an agnostic interpretation, or a atheistic interpretation. Well, everyone's seeing the same thing. Now it's all even because of the internet. Now everybody knows what everybody else knows. There's nothing nobody knows that everyone else doesn't know. Nothing. Really. Or that you can't find in, 0.000 seconds. Right? So it's just a question of how we shall interpret it. Shall we interpret it in terms of measuring it against what the heart is seeking, what the mind seeks, what the senses are seeking? What will be the criteria for measurement and establishing value or worthlessness, favorable, unfavorable, desirable, undesirable? That is before us. You cannot change the world and everyone in it, or their collective karma. You have our individual karma, and then there's collective karma. So, how to see? So Mahaprabhu hit, and in one sense we can say, so everything is illusion. Like the Mayavadis say, but a little different. Right? Because if we say we have imperfect senses, cheating tendency, subject to illusion, it's funny, it's always one we forget. Brahma, pramad, madness, whatever. So, how shall we see or interpret? So Mahaprabhu, seeing the sand dune as Govardhan, the sea as Jamuna, even the Jagannath, the dome, he's seeing Gopal, who's like inviting him to come. And this is creating some divine madness within. So we're told it's around an hour and a half it would normally take. From where this begins to the destination, Jagannath, it should take around an hour and a half. But Mahaprabhu, he's stunned, he's falling on the ground, tears are streaming out of his eyes, they're shooting out like from a syringe, his hairs are standing on it, different types of ecstatic condition, so it takes him 9 hours. Right. Should be an hour and a half, it's 9 hours. So it's best he went alone. And when he arrives, remember, he is in Radha Bhav. She hadn't seen Krishna in 100 years. Wants to run and embrace Krishna, Dwarka Krishna, Jagannath. Like, you haven't seen the beloved in such a long time. But faints. And the guards saw that he is going to embrace the deity, climb up, and like they would do to anybody, they're going to throw you out of the temple. Right? So they're about to throw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu out of the temple. Everyone has some ego, right? Hey, look, if Mahaprabhu, Radha Govinda Kamai, can be thrown out of the temple, then... We remember when Vaishnav Maharaj, Srila Prabhu, he had to ask someone to leave the temple. And that person acknowledged, all right, yes. And he said, but I have nowhere to go. And Vaishnava Maharaj said, then you can stay at my house. But you can't stay here. So, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, the court pundit of the king of Puri, Prataparudra Maharaj, he sees this Mahaprabhu, who's so beautiful, Gauranga, Gaur Sundar. And he's very experienced in the scriptures, the Shastra. He knows what is a Mahapurush, what are the symptoms of a means like divine liberated personality to the extreme. Siddha Purush, Mahapurush, their body will look like this. Also, he knows what is written about ecstatic symptoms. And so he has some authority there. He's not a man from the street. He's the pundit of the king. So they have to take him seriously. He's saying, I'll take him to my place. And Vrindavan Das Thakur said, like, you know, when you see ants, they pick up some big thing and they carry it. Many, then they volunteer. Mahaprabhu is very big, Gurudev said. He's over. What's above 7 feet 6 in meters?
2.5.
Like 2.5 meters. He's very... And in his ecstatic condition, sometimes his body's becoming like wood or stone. Other times they're told it's so intense. One type of ecstasy is creating closure. So his, like a golden pumpkin, all his limbs are going inside like a turtle, and he looks like a golden pumpkin. That's when the ecstasy is going another way. Each joint separated by this much. The knee, his body, that's not a very pretty sight. But what it tells us is the degree of intensity, what's going on inside. That's the whole idea. what's going on inside the heart. And this is just the outcome of what's going on inside. Sometimes Guru Maharaj would say, Jagannath, an awkward-looking figure. What do we see? Right? The arms have gone inside, eyes elongated. That's Dwarka Krishna feeling separation from Vrindavan, from Radharani and Brajagopis. That's why Jagannath is perfect for us. He's Krishna feeling separation from Vrindavan. So it must be. Yeah. Once someone commissioned a deity of Guru Maharaj after his disappearance. And it did not bring joy to the hearts of all the devotees. We thought, this doesn't look like Guru Maharaj, but it's done. Right. So Gurudev, looking at that deity once, he said, if Jagannath is Krishna, then that's Guru Maharaj. Because no one wanted to say anything for fear of committing offense, but Gurudev made the perfect, if Jagannath is Krishna, then that's Guru Maharaj. But anyway, Mahaprabhu, Sarvabhauma, is observing ecstatic symptoms. And Srila Saraswati Thakur mentions, quoting Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu of Rupa Goswami, what is one called? Duma Aita, I think, and Jwalita, saying when one or two ecstatic symptoms are present, but they're concealable. That's called the Duma, means like smoke, smoking stage. When 3 or 4 of ecstatic symptoms are present and they're not controllable, it says Jwalita, means like on fire, ignited. So smoke, now fire. Then he said, but when all Asta Sattvika Vikar, 8 different types of ecstatic symptoms, hair standing on end, trembling, tears, perspiration, etc. When they're all present simultaneously and magnified 1,000 times, that's called Sudipta, like blazing. And that's the state of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, observed by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So, he thinks that Mahaprabhu that his body may not be able to withstand this ecstasy or this ecstatic transformation, and maybe he'll leave the world. So he takes some cotton and puts it before the nostrils of Mahaprabhu, and he sees the cotton fibers move a little bit that indicate that there's some breathing. So in this condition, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in the deep internal condition and lying that way for 9 hours. At the end of 9 hours, he gradually moves to the half internal, half external stage, then to the external state where he is aware of what's going on. One time he says, from such a condition, he says, Amina Chaitanya, which is like a play on words. He said, am I not conscious? But he's saying, am I not Chaitanya? So here, to go back to Guru Maharaj's proposition, what will be the central conception of the infinite? What will be the golden mean? Where greater than the greatest, smaller than the smallest meet, and the all-attractive, aprakrita, human-like form of Krishna. And here, Rasaraj Mahabhav Duyekarup. Rasaraj Krishna, enveloped in the heart and halo of Mahabhav, Radha Thakurani. So, union in separation, and we can point out also separation and union. Prema Baichitra in the Ramananda Sambad. They're so deeply lost in one another that in the depths of union, feeling separation, that they've lost one another. Or Rupa Goswami describes, sometimes Radharani's shadow is on Krishna and she thinks it's another gopi. Krishna's with another gopi. So people in this world, they're jealous or paranoid in love affairs. But here it's in a very beautiful way, to betray the depth of sentiment of the heart. So Mahaprabhu's pastimes are focused primarily on separation. That Kurukshetra meeting, separation, and the Uddhava darshan, when Uddhava comes and when Krishna's in Mathura is delivering message to Radharani and the Brajagopis to assuage the pain of the separation they're feeling. Oh, so back to the original. In that second chapter, Kaviraj Goswami says, in summary of all the slokas that are given there, that are all about separation, and the madness of divine love expressed in separation. Because the point being that when you're together, you may be less conscious than when you're separated. To be separated, everything may remind you of the beloved. Whereas in their presence, there may be a certain level of, we could say, complacency. Right? But in separation, even the smallest object connected with the beloved can bring about remembrance. So in summary, Kaviraj Goswami says, Baihe Vishajalahoy Bitore Anandamoy Krishna Premier Adbhuta Charit. The wonderful characteristic of Krishna Prem is that externally feeling separation, it appears as though that devotee is poisoned, or they feel like they're on fire, the way a poisoned person might feel. It says, but Bitore Anandamoy, Baihe Vishajalahoy, Bitore Anandamoy, but internally relishing some nectarine substance. And we're told as a footnote that this is more appropriate approach for the devotees to make, rather than try and cultivate the meeting, Milan, the union pastimes of Radha and Krishna and the Brajagopis, that separation is safer. Right? In Guru Maharaj's words, Saraswati Thakur said, Smaran may be injurious to the lower section. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur recommends in Chaitanya Shikshamritam the childhood pastimes of Krishna and the pastimes of Mahaprabhu as being safe for internal culture, for aspiring servitors. Rupa Goswami wants to be with Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu is saying, it is my wish that you will go to Vrindavan, and being faithful to my order, we'll be connected. You'll constantly feel my association. Even after all the separation, Krishna reassures the Brajagopis that he is always with them, that their remembrance of him is substantial. And parsing the name Adhoksaja has different meanings. Adha, Aksaja. What divine revelation that comes down suppressing sense experience. Pratyaksha, Paroksha, Aparoksha, Adhoksaja, Aprakrita. So Adhoksaja, descending, and on account of its descent, suppressing sense experience. But Uddhava, when meeting with the Brajagopis, told him that Krishna's advice is Adha Aksha. Aksha means eyes. He said, if you will shut your eyes, Krishna will appear. So they're very simple. They all close their eyes, and Krishna appears inside them. They're very happy. That's also union and separation. So the heart achieves a greater depth of love and affection in separation. Gurudev once made a very interesting point. He said that we're talking about union versus separation. What is superior? And he spoke a little crudely, but he said, at first he said, even a goat knows the joys of union, an animal. He said, but who can understand the type of love the heart can experience in separation? And in this way he said, in analyzing the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, what is his tasting matter? And those are those two focal points, Rath-yatra and Uddhava Darshan, the Brahmar Gita of Radharani, two separation zenith points. That's what he is cultivating. Mahaprabhu, he as Krishna, Rasaraj Krishna, he knows everything about union. Right? So Krishna, it is not said that Krishna descends so he can experience that position. As Krishna, he's already Adi Govindam Adi Purusham, the original male, the original enjoyer. He knows everything about that. But what is beyond his grasp as the supreme enjoyer is the sort of Radha, Pranaya Mahima, Kidrisho Vanayeva, the type of love that Radharani alone possesses, which reaches its zenith point in expression in separation from Krishna. That he wants to experience. Bhakta Bhav, Gopi Bhav, Radha Bhav, highest expression. So aparam kasyapi pranayi janavrindasya kutuki rasotstamam ritva madhuram upabhoktam kamapiya rucham swama vavre dutyam iha dhariyan Sa Chaitanya Devaskritir Atitaram Na Kripayatu. He surveys all of them, 1 trillion gopis, and realizes her, and they're inconceivable, they're all super servitors, super qualified, and he's saying, this one, what's in her heart counsels all the others. So we shouldn't think that Srimati Radharani is marginally superior. But to the point of canceling all the others. And even some very well-known super servitors, they're all cancelled by her. But of course, the super servitors in our line, they're always promoting her in recognition of this fact. Lalita Vishaka, Lalita Rupa. You don't get any more Krishna than the Krishna you get when Radharani is the extracting agent. That's Mahabhav's Rupini. Not by directly being with Krishna or through any other agency. Radharani predominated more. She can draw Krishna out fully. Like in this world, sometimes people say, especially very famous people, they'll say, oh, I'm looking for someone I can be myself with. Janmadyasya yataha. Even that sentiment we can trace back to the absolute personality of Godhead. I'm looking for someone who I can just fully be myself with. Like I mentioned once, I played some music for my mother, thinking she might appreciate it. And my father's often, he's like, seeing, and what he doesn't understand is, it doesn't matter. My mother's she loves it because it's from me. It's just a play. So and she'll go, oh, that's very nice, But my father, he's like a little bit, he says, your mother doesn't like that kind of music. And my mother turns and goes, how do you know what I like? At that time, they'd been married around 50 years. He said, how do you know what I like? And he's like, Abhigya janmadyasya yatonvayad itaradas cha artesyu. Only he knows. But omniscient Krishna, who God only knows what he knows. Actually, God doesn't know what Krishna knows. Because Krishna is beyond God concept. But that Krishna, omniscient Krishna, we're told, he cannot, Radharani bewilders him. Like everybody's got somebody like that. Radharani bewilders Krishna. That's scary. Govinda Mohini. She bewilders Krishna. Cupid's got everybody kowtowing in this world. Krishna's Madan Mohan. He throws Cupid into illusion, but she's Madan Mohan Mohini. She bewilders the bewilderer of Cupid. Such is her power. She's so great. What other team would you want to be on? But so Krishna can't figure her out. How great is her love? What does she see when she sees me? He can understand it theoretically. But to understand it really, he'd have to become just like her. That's Mahaprabhu. Krishna The supreme positive and the mood of the supreme negative. Rasaraj Mahabhav Dui Ekarup. Shama Goparup covered by Gaurangi, Tapta Kanchana Gaurange, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Radha Baba Duti Subalita. Then, heart and halo of Radharani, then he can see what she sees, feel what she feels, taste what she tastes, experience the ecstasy that she feels, the love that she alone possesses. And that's what brings him to his knees. Syringe of tears coming from his eyes, and the Sudipta Asta Sattvika Bhav, these extreme love emotions, ecstatic transformations of divine love. It's so great. The last 12 years of his life behind closed doors with Swarup Damodar and Ramananda, just going deeper and deeper in the depths of Radha Bhav. That's union and separation. That's what Guru Maharaj is talking about. That's what Gurudev said. Anyone, the other thing, anyone can, an animal has some concept, but not this. Is that it? Don't ask me a question if it's not related to this.
Oh, okay. I think we can. Yes, no more.
It's okay. So when we came in connection with Guru Maharaj, and I don't know how to say this delicately, say we're in connection with Krishna consciousness movement for like 7 or 8 years, 10, let's say 10. But then coming in connection with him, everything shifts. So we understood what Krishna consciousness was. Then we met him and thought, we have to think again. Everything shifted from Krishna to Radharani and Mahaprabhu. So it was as if discovering Krishna consciousness anew, reconfiguring, reconceiving everything in a new light, this light. Like Advaiti, Paramadvaiti means the supreme oneness. So if the Mayavadis hear that, they go, yeah, see? But Guru Maharaj said, what is that oneness? Radha and Govinda combined as Mahaprabhu. And that like Bhakti Aloka Paramadvaiti. Mahabhav, revealing everything. Bhargo Bhai, Vrishabhanu Jatma Bhivabai, Karadhana Sri Puram. I was talking about this, some songs when Gurudev came, he knew from his father so many songs. Guru Maharaj told, just put those on the shelf for now, and ticked off 30 songs of Bhaktivinoda and Narottam Thakur. Learn these. So that should keep him busy for some time. Gurudev learned all the songs in a week. All 30 of them. But anyway, sometimes Guru Maharaj would say, like one of those songs you knew before, you can sing that? Gurudev is such a beautiful singer. And he said this one song would guarantee put Guru Maharaj in a good mood. Begins with Tunga Mani Mandire. And his last visit in Navadvip, I asked him, what does that mean? And he said that Radharani's heart is like a blazing lighthouse of Krishna Prem, illuminating everything, like Bargo Bhai, Vrishabhanu, Jatma Bhivavai, Ek, Karadana, Sri Puram, means the whole spiritual world is illuminated by the heart of Radharani. Vrindavan is a construct of her heart. That's why she wants Krishna to come back. Why Vrindavan is inseparable. Anyara Hridayaman Moraman Vrindavan. Her heart and Vrindavan are identical. So for Krishna to come back to Vrindavan, place his lotus feet in Vrindavan, and her heart is inseparable, and her heart is a lighthouse of Krishna Prem, of Mahabhav. And that's what is illuminating all the service for the servitors in her group, the unique service that they perform is revealed by that light. So knowledge, we're talking about knowledge, real knowledge is light, illumination. Not, we think it's like these. Even when we think about the spiritual world, we think it's like that. It's consciousness, dedicating consciousness to the extreme, consciousness full of love, affection, self-giving to the extreme. How extreme can it go? We have no idea. So that we can have any connection with the Guru Varga is unthinkable, actually. Sangsaresmin kanardo pi satsanga sevadir rinam. Sevadi means treasure. This is the treasure of human, of life, of existence. And for those in connection with it, sometimes Guru Maharaj will say, see, if someone knows nothing about it, that's one position. But to come in connection with us and to become complacent about it is really unfortunate. So we need to be reminded from time to time. Sajatya shaya snigdhe saru sangha satovare. Therefore we seek out superior association to awaken superior devotion within us. We'll never get that on our own. Bhaktya sanjataya bhaktya. Only devotion can awaken devotion. So, you say, how to improve? We get superior association. Service and connected with service and association, not mere proximity. Even our lizards are fortunate. Yat kinchit trigumaki katamukam goste samastamitat sarvananda mukunda daitam lilanukulam param.